everybody, and welcome to Silent Podcast, the place where everything but silent. I'm your host Isaiah, back with Bounce Checks to talk about Big Brother Canada season 11. As usual, I got Katie here with me. Katie, what's going on?
Not too much. Excited to be here. We have a good week to talk about.
We have a good week with a great guest as well. We have Victoria back again.
Hey, that's
Victoria,
right.
what's going on?
Oh my gosh, not much. Excited to be here. Round two, ready to get spicy. What can I say?
All right. So I guess we can start this podcast off. I want to get your idea or in opinions on the season so far. How are you feeling? Obviously, we don't got the feeds, but the show's actually been pretty popping. There's a pretty good cast. How you feel about it?
It's been wild. Like I am just blown away week to week with like what's going on, and it's just so interesting to see like how things can change year to year with the cast and just how the season will play out. So yeah, it's been really fun to watch. I had a friend go into the house. I knew Dan Zabo going into the house, so it was really fun to have the experience of knowing someone because it definitely makes you a little more like Twitter stalkerish and everything. So I've really been enjoying it. I've been loving Arissa, like just the way she navigates through absolutely anything, like blows my mind. The comps are great. I'm here for it. I'm watching. I work Thursday night, so it's hard for me to tune in to the live. But other than that, I'm here for it.
All right. Katie, how you feel about this week?
Oh, this week. I don't know if the move was right to get rid of Jonathan, but the week itself was kind of unhinged, just like with the girly pops and the crown and then Ty kind of in the middle. Just the way that Ty was speaking with Claudia, what's her name? Chelsea? Every week I do this to Claudia. I keep thinking of Love is Blind Chelsea. That's why I keep getting them mixed up in my head. Claudia, I mean, it was just this man like couldn't get anything that he wanted to happen to actually happen. So it was just a wild week. I mean, it was kind of fun to watch, but it was sad. Watching Hope cry like that, like actually sob, was so sad. That was so sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a really cracked season so far. I've been enjoying it. And I personally, I'm here for it. I've had mixed feelings with certain people at the beginning, but like I'm really liking everybody left in the game. Yes, even Ty. We'll get to him at certain points, but it's funny. It's entertaining me. So I guess we could start with the week and just get opinions on everything. So obviously, we could start out with our week's HOH, which is Ty. We do have Ty HOH this week. Originally, he wanted to put up. I'm trying to think. It's drawing a blank.
Santina.
He put Santina, but Santina obviously she got saved by Canada, which I'm a Santina fan now. I don't know about y'all. She has the spicy bee crack nature.
Yeah, she's good TV.
Yeah, she is. She is.
But we see him put up Renee, and he also put up Hope originally. Hope asking to go on the block. Victoria, how you feel about that? Because Hope keeps asking to go on the block.
I know, it's so funny because like it's actually like makes me laugh because there was a time when I was in the house and I became invisible HOH. There was a second where I'm like, am I gonna put myself up? Like I really had that thought. So when I saw that clip or the multiple clips of Hope saying that, like it kind of makes me giggle. But that must mean like there's confidence there, right? Confidence in his alliance, confidence in his skills to win the POV. You know what I mean? So it's really funny to see how people like make decisions based on how they're feeling in the house. So I don't know. I think it's funny.
How you feel about it, Katie?
I don't know. Did he really like ask, or did Ty ask him and he agreed? This time I don't feel like he fully volunteered. He was just okay with it. But I just feel like, we say it all the time, like you can never be sure. Even if he's comfortable, like look at what happened. He lost his number one this week. So it's just like there's never a reason that you should be sitting up on that block if you can avoid it. And yeah, I don't know. I feel for Hope because I feel like he's finding his footing in the game, but he's just making so many mistakes. But I really like him and I want him to do well. So I don't know. This is not my favorite thing. I think Hope needs to stop doing that. Hopefully he learned his lesson this week.
Hopefully. No, Hopefully. I just kind of wish that like he was just okay with saying no, he just seems to just be openly willing to just do these things. I'm like, it's not the best look. You gotta say no sometimes. But what are you gonna do? So obviously, we see the veto selection go up, and the girly pops. Obviously, they're definitely dipping into their villainous bag this week.
I love that.
It was crazy, man. It's like obviously they're mad at Ty. They're telling Ty put up Kuzi. He's like, no, me and Kuzi are good. Which seeing this week's results, it's going to be kind of messy. But you know, he doesn't do it. Renee goes up. We see all the girly pops get selected. I thought that was crazy.
This was crazy that Ty picked Shania to go up on to go play the veto. Like Jonathan is literally sitting right there. Why would you pick her? It doesn't make sense. This is his arrogance speaking, thinking that like they have no shot of winning.
Wow.
Yeah. How you feel about that, Vic? Because it's like wild.
Yeah, it is like, wow, what a perspective. Oh my God. Like, again, I don't want to bring everything back to my season, but I can't fucking help but think of when you get put on the spot, like in the POV, and you don't think those people are gonna get picked or it's gonna end up that way. Like, it's so crazy that all of the girly pops got picked, and it was just so crazy that like Jen and Ty both got picked to play in the week I wanted to play to go. So that shit happens in the house. So again, you gotta laugh at it and see how all the different seasons play out and like deal with these situations. It's too much.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you because obviously, and you said bring it back to your season. I want to bring it back to your season. You got two HOHs. They were crazy but fun to watch. But how do you choose who to put up at that point? Because obviously, there's like two sides. We saw you in a situation where you were kind of in the middle of two sides and you had to pick and choose. Like, how do you make that decision?
You honestly, like for me, like I just kind of went with my gut. Like I know that sounds so silly to say, but week 3, I knew Latoya had to go. Like I couldn't play my game with her there. Like it was just like like there was just so much, you know what I mean? So that was like, I need to make this move for my game. And then as we got further into the game and I won in week 5, I made a decision that I thought was going to get me further. So Jed had pulled me aside before I won the invisible HOH and was like, all right, the chili peppers like made that alliance. So I was like, okay, like, maybe I can believe them because I wasn't in power yet. I mean, they're big, strong guys. We haven't really had those physical comps yet. I felt like they were coming. So I thought it was smart for me to just pick that alliance and I chose the wrong side. So you know what I mean? So I don't love when people get manipulated during their HOHs. I think that's the absolute worst because like it couldn't be me.
We've seen so much of that this season too. It's wild.
Yeah. And we're gonna see obviously Shania out of nowhere. I think now that she's not distracted by the guys and stuff, she's here to finally play. We see her win a veto, and she's put in a really crazy spot. Obviously, in her opinion, her best interest is to veto Renee off. We're going to see Ty here, which is kind of funny because Hope won veto, and him and Zach were telling him don't use the veto. Obviously, he uses it. Ty, you picked Shania here, and Shania wins it, and he's trying to tell Shania not to use the veto. Obviously, she does. We see the crown kind of try to pressure her not to use it. It's like, Katie, in your opinion, like, what does she do in this situation? Because it's like you're going to have someone mad at you at some point anyway.
I think it's hard. I think the way that Ty maneuvers here is not great. I also don't think it was great to have all of them, like everybody in the crown, corner her in a room and kind of just like, I don't want to say they were intimidating her because they really weren't, but like just like a group of people saying one thing and trying to pressure you into doing something is just never really going to make you feel like they're looking out for you. It's really like they're looking out for themselves, obviously. So I think it's hard. I think for her, what I think Ty said, I think it maybe was to Claudia later on, is that like she's looking out for her personal life and not her game. I agree, because clearly the fallout of her using that veto and then Jonathan going up on the block made her public enemy number 1 in the house. I mean, we heard Anika talking about it and just saying like Shania's next, which I guess maybe she's not, but I just feel like she should have probably in this instance gone with the house because it wouldn't have put such a spotlight on her and she could have continued to be under the radar. Now she just went out and put a target on herself for like no real reason because Renee is not really an asset to her. She's her friend and they can trust each other, but I don't know if she's really a game asset.
It is kind of tough because I think that obviously I think Claudia and Renee obviously at this point those two they need her and Shania, they need Renee at this
Mhm.
point because like at this point Ty isn't really a trustworthy number. Obviously anyone coming into that 3-person alliance are going to feel like the fourth automatically, so
Yeah.
I do think it's a tough spot to be in. We do see Shania ultimately take a big leap of faith and she does use the veto. Jonathan does go up as a replacement, and this episode is crazy. We see everyone is just like there's a clear line in the sand. There's a divide. The girls are outside, everyone else is inside crying, and then you just kind of have Satina like walking back and forth because she doesn't really belong to anyone. At this point, like Victoria, I mean, I don't know if you ever felt this way, but like, what do you do if you feel like you just completely are like you have a bunch of people against you at that point? Public enemy number one.
Oh my gosh, like having people against you in the house.
Yeah.
It's hard. You got to get them out. Ew, you got to get them out, or you got to talk to them, or like you got to figure it out. You can't just leave them silent. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just ignore them, because I feel like I kind of tried to do that and it didn't really work. You know what I mean? So you got to like address that. And just going back to like Shania and the way she actually used the POV, I'm proud of her for using the POV. Like, you know what I mean? People tried to pressure her to do something that she didn't think was the best for her game. She won the damn thing, so use it. You know what I mean? So I really do give her props for that, even if it was really sad to see Jonathan go.
Agreed. How do we feel about Satina here? Because obviously Satina's safe. They wanted her out this week. Obviously she isn't, but like we're starting to
Her.
see.
I love Santina. I think
Me
she's freaking
too.
brilliant. I've said it since the first episode. I'm here for her. She's there to play. She's there to play. She's playing the game. Like, people are hating for reasons that are game related. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she's playing the damn game. Canada sees it. They like it. They're helping her out. And I'm like, let's go. I hope she makes it all the way. Like, I hope she does.
Yeah, we're starting to see her getting pulled into some alliances this week. We'll somewhat chat about what's going on during Kuzi's HOH in a little bit. But it was looking like at least like she was going to get like basically Jonathan's spot since Jonathan was going. We saw her and Kuzi. They started trying to lock something in. I really like Satina, man. I like how cracked and chaotic she is, first of all.
I love it. Cracked and chaotic.
Mm-hmm. My favorite moments on the show this week were the reactions to them finding out that she got safety. Just like Ty looking at the camera being like, kill me. It just like, it just made me laugh. Like everybody all in their separate rooms just complaining about how she won. It was just so funny to me. She has them really bothered.
Yeah, she does.
So Jonathan, how do we feel about Jonathan here? Obviously, he kind of gives up a little bit here and kind of just tells people to take him out. I really feel like after seeing everyone cry about it and everything, and the girly pops want him to stay, if he just asked people to like vote to keep him, he probably would have stayed. It felt like the crown was kind of like off hope for a second. Satina was basically saying, if you ask me to keep you, I will keep you. I feel like there's no chance of Jonathan leaving if he actually tells people to keep him. How do we feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like it feels like it was the smart move actually to keep Jonathan. Like even the crown was, like you said, was they were kind of getting frustrated with Hope, and just his distrust in Jonathan of saying like, do you think he's going to expose the crown? Like he was kind of moping a little bit, and he's just like, that's just who I am, which I understand that. I felt so bad for him with how upset he got, and you could tell he really was beating himself up about this decision. But Jonathan's discussion with Anika, I think it was with Anika, saying like, I have it in with the girls, I can protect the crown, we can attack from both sides. It just felt like the logical move was to keep Jonathan, and maybe they just ended up keeping Hope because he has better competition stats than Jonathan. Like, I don't really know, but yeah, I think Jonathan just felt like he didn't want to go against his number one guy in the house, and he just let it happen.
Vic, who would you have kept between the two of them?
Who would I? Oh my god! I guess it would depend who I was in the house, but like, oh, I don't know. Ew, that's like the hardest question. Ew, I'm not ready for that. It's so hard. I'm thrown off because I want to say Hope, but like, I'm just thrown off about like how like I don't want to even bring up Zach, but like back to when there was like conversations around like Hope wanting to go home, and like I don't know the truth of that, right? Because I wasn't there, so like that always sticks with me. I'm like, ew, don't say that, right? So I guess I think they made the right choice, but Jonathan is just such a nice guy. Like, you know what I mean? You know those ones. Like it's like Tina, like those they're just all so nice and it hurts. But hopefully they made the right decision, and Hope's ready to like play and like realize that his alliance just had to get rid of Jonathan for him. So it's time for him to step up and like play his part now.
Okay. I'm curious, Victoria, you think if you were in this season, you think you probably would have been in the Girly Pops, or you think you would have been in the Crown?
I think I would be working with like Santina, Kuzi.
Okay.
Like I even said before going into my season, like my goal was to work with the girls. I feel like everyone tries to do it, like you know what I mean. And I went there, and you see what you have to work with, who's in the house, and all that stuff. And like it wasn't really there for me. You know what I mean? And then like I watched the seasons after, and I was like, oh my god, I would have fucking loved Santina, like Kuzi. Like we literally like in our Wendy's window, like that was a vibe. Like we were hitting it off. Like obviously they didn't have enough time to air our whole fucking time because we were eating, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think I would have tried to get like strong girls like the Kuzis and Santina myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How does that feel, by the way? Actually, now that I think about it, last 2 seasons, you got invited for like a segment or something. How do you feel about that?
Like, oh my god, it's such a good feeling. Like I can't even tell you. It's like a little pat on the back. Like, oh, they thought of me. Like the fact, like I always say, like when I reply back, like the fact you're even thinking of me means the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like it means a lot. Like it gives me like a big reminder of that time in my life. Like, because when I'm there, I'm like, why am I here? Oh yeah, because I was on a season. People know me as Spicy V. Like, you know what I mean? It gives me a chance to be like, I'm that bitch. You know what I mean? So, I went, they had like the Wendy's with that said Spicy V, and I was like, I'm fucking obsessed, like the name tag. And then of course, like the Legend of the Doors, even the title of it, like just the fact, like even like in the emails, it was like Legend of the Doors, you know. So I was like, I'm a legend. So yeah, it feels fucking awesome. I can't lie.
Awesome.
Big Brother Canada icon.
Stop it,
Yes.
stop
it. So I guess we can look into next week a little bit and kind of try to like guess what's going to happen, because obviously, like I said, Jonathan does go. First of all, how do we feel about that HOH, man? Because Kuzi, that was crazy. She's the new HOH. We finally got a live HOH.
Finally.
I don't know why it took this long. Katie, how do you feel about that?
I felt great about it. I don't know how I feel about it with this twist that's coming, that Arista announced at the end of the episode, because we don't really know what to expect. And I just don't know if I love her nominations yet at this point. I feel like the girly pops are out there. They all had your name in their mouth last week. I don't know why at least one of them is not up on the block next to Ty. I don't think Ty was the right move either. Ty's clearly out there on his own and has no allies because the girls hate him. So like, why not scoop Ty up and make him closer to you rather than putting him on the block? Same with Santina. It just like her nominations kind of worried me a little bit. So hopefully whatever this twist is evens things out a little bit for her.
Yeah. Victoria, you think that's a wrong move? Apparently she might be putting up Ty and Santina.
No, I hate that. So I actually have to be honest. I did miss Thursday's episode. I did see Tuesday, Wednesday. But I am on Twitter. I know what's up. So no, I actually didn't know that Santina was possibly going up with Ty. I hate that. I thought like you saw the clips of like them talking, like Kuzi and Santina talking in the backyard, like Santina trying to show loyalty towards her. So I was really and again, that was before Kuzi won, right? So I always think there's something to be said about the conversations that are had before people are in power and stuff like that. So no, I don't love that. I am sad to see Ty. I think is a good move. He's doing too much. He's doing too much. He doesn't have enough loyalties. It's a safe move. Like, I don't think it puts too much like blood on Kuzi's hands because she's kind of going after someone most people want to get out anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I really felt like she should have put up the girly pops. Like this is such an easy week for her. They're already coming for her. They've told Ty multiple times they wanted Kuzi up. Like, why not put up
Yeah.
Claudia or Renee or Shania? Like at this point, I don't
Yeah.
see why not.
I wonder, like, do you think Ty's gonna like say that? Like say that, yeah, like spill the tea? Like, damn.
I
Do
hope
we have
so.
confirmation if Kuzi heard them talking about her when she was in the bathroom? Do we know? Because they didn't show
I've
that
no
on the
clue.
episode, but they didn't. I don't know if that was in a daily or something. If we saw if she actually heard them.
I have no clue. I have
Mm.
to. I haven't seen the dailies today or yesterday. I'm just letting
Yeah.
y'all know that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that would be good. No, I don't think so though. I think from what I saw, she feels like she wants to make another big move, like the whole Zach week. I think that she was basically saying how she doesn't want to leave this house feeling like she didn't make the optimal move, and in her mind, Ty is the optimal move. I don't think it's smart. I think leaving three people who are a guaranteed alliance at this point of the game is a really bad move. But what are you gonna do? You just kind of have to wait and see. We didn't expect Zach to quit. Hey,
True.
something
Oh my god. Okay, did you guys see the shade? I saw like Summer like retweet the clip where it
yeah.
was like, she's like, I would never quit, Renee.
Yeah.
Then she like hand to Zach's picture.
Yeah,
I was on
yeah,
the floor.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was on the floor. I thought that was the
Yeah,
funniest thing. I fucking love Big Brother. Dead.
yeah. He was on the. Oh my god. I mean, obviously he was on your podcast too, but
Yeah.
the Hamza Spaces was wild too.
Was he there? Was
Everything was
that
a lot.
recent? Was that yesterday
Yeah,
or
it
Yeah,
was
he
two
finally
days
showed
ago or
up.
how did that
something.
go?
Mess, bro.
It
Not
was a
great.
mess.
It was not great for him, that's for sure.
No,
No, it
I
was not
totally
great.
missed it. I haven't heard anything about it. Like, stop.
Yeah, it was a mess. I
It,
didn't even record it either. I was pissed. I was like,
No,
what
it
the
oh
was
my
a
god,
hell?
you
mess.
had to have been there, huh?
Yeah, at this point. Oh, real
He was
quick.
arguing with the Twitter stands. It was messy. It was really messy.
He was.
Yeah. Hmm.
Sidebar, Victoria. Someone said that someone likes your Nikes in the back. So shout
Yes.
out to you.
Oh, what? Thank you. Oh my god, yeah. There's a whole side you guys can't see, like my whole
I'm
closet.
crying.
Like it keeps on going. I don't want to like drop
Oh
it.
my goodness.
I'm
Are you
good
in your
now.
closet right now? Where's that?
Yeah, this is like my closet slash
Ooh.
computer slash.
Okay.
There's a bed here
Okay.
slash
Ooh.
work area. This is like this is my space.
Oh, listen, I
Nice.
respect it. I respect it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Katie, with this happening, is there a
Hmm.
chance for Kuzi to fix all this? Because if she does put two of them up, I think there's possibly a third nominee. Maybe is that what they were
I
saying on
guess we
Twitter?
don't know what this,
Yeah, what's
what's
the
it called?
twist? I
Fatal
missed it.
Feast or
What is
something.
it? What was said about that?
Arissa said it has something to do with a dinner and that someone will be going home. But I don't think that we know really more than that on Tuesday.
Why?
So I
Damn.
don't know if this is like a double situation or what if it's like a comp. I really don't know. I don't think we have a ton of information, but it does sound like something's going to be happening at some kind of a dinner on Tuesday, which I don't know when the nominations are happening because I don't think they're locked in yet, right? As far as we know, I think it was just discussion
As
that
far as I'm
Santina
aware,
and Ty.
no.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
maybe things could turn around. I think hopefully if Ty has a discussion with Kuzi and says like these girls were pushing me to put you up last week. All three of them wanted you on the block. There's no reason for you to try and work with them. Like they will come for you, especially if they have the opportunity and like a double or a triple to just get her up there. It's a bad move to keep all three of them because they're a locked in voter block at this point too. Like they're always going to vote with each other. She should at least try and get one of them out. And then same with Santina. Like leave Santina in because someone else is going to want to take her out. Like that's too easy. Take those girls out and then let someone else take out Santina when they win power. Like it just doesn't need to. It doesn't need to be her. Like Santina will have Kuzi's back. I think if she keeps her in the house. So I don't know. I don't love the moves.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Right? What are we gonna
Wow.
do?
Get a banner
Oh, man.
plane, but that's not for Canada. So never mind.
Okay, so is there a chance because I'm also looking at two people who it's so funny out of all these people that are being nominated mentioned, I'm never hearing Daniel or Anika's names in anything.
Never.
Yeah, they're in a
Um,
good spot. They're in a
yeah.
good spot.
So
Ever.
are we looking at like a end game push for these two now that Kuzi unfortunately is like putting up two people who she should be working with?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Kuzi is making herself look like the leader of that group, and it's just giving Anika and Daniel the perfect opportunity to be under the radar, even though they're just as big of a part of that alliance as Kuzi. Her personality, she's just kind of, it seems like, whether she is or not, it seems like she's in charge. Especially Hope. I feel like Hope, she even said like he's the soldier for them that'll do what they need to do. So it's just like she's like their leader and they're all just like troops under her. And I feel like if anybody wants to take a big move, it's going to be Kuzi. It's not going to be Anika. It's not going to be Daniel. So they're in a great spot. I just wish Kuzi maybe didn't win this week. I don't know if she really needed to win. I don't know. I'm worried for her.
How about you? How do you feel about that, Vic?
I don't know. I'm like, oh my gosh, she has her second win under her belt. Like, when you're in that house, like, you want to win or you don't want to win. But like, I remember going into that invisible HOH, not knowing it was an invisible HOH. I was like, I am not winning this. No, sirree, Bob. Like, I get in there and Arissa's like, whoever wins this is gonna make history. I'm like, history. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, rocks. So like things change like in the moment like that, people say they're competitive and what does that mean? It means when it comes down to it, you want to win regardless if it's best for you. So I get that. And especially in the moment, when you realize it's becoming more and more possible that you could win, it's just like, it's hard to let go. So yeah, she's won. She's putting that target on her back. I feel like she's probably making this decision so she doesn't ruffle too many feathers. If she puts up 2 of the girly pops, then there will still be 2 in the house gunning for her. Like, I don't know. I'm guessing she's doing that. I think she's trying to stay under the radar, like I said, by getting someone out who most people want out.
Yeah. And I'm afraid next time that she's vulnerable and she doesn't have a comp on her belt, then like people are finally going to take that shot at her. Obviously, we know the girly pops who she should be targeting want her out, but Daniel has brought it to Anika a bunch of times. Look, we should take Kuzi out soon. Anika's the only person kind of stopping him, but I can't guarantee that if like they take Ty or Satine out this week, that Daniel's just not going to take that shot at her at this point. So
I think that would be such a big mistake.
I want to see Daniel win HOH and just fucking like pop, like, and all of a sudden he's a household name. Like he just fucking flips the game upside down.
Yeah, he's been throwing his HOHs like crazy. He blatantly threw that last one too, which was wild. But
blatantly, just fucking.
But we would do I guess we could start talking about like the last few people that we haven't really mentioned. Hope. So what's Hope's move here now? Like Jonathan's out. I guess he can try to stay close with the crown, but like, they don't really trust him all the way. He's kind of like a soldier, like Katie said. I don't think he has any relationship to the girly pops anymore. And he's cool with Santina. Like, what does Hope do here at this point?
Stay loyal to the crown. Like, you gotta stick with that alliance. You gotta stick with, like, once you have it, don't be jumping around or trying to play the middle. So I think he needs to figure out who really like cares about him and wants to work with him in this game and just solidify it. And like I said, he needs to, like, it's time for him to prove himself. You know what I mean? The trust is gone, the flakiness of like his interest in the game. Like, he needs to show he is an asset now.
I agree. Yeah. He needs to win a competition, like win an HOH, not even just a veto, win an HOH. Solidify the trust in the crown and put up the girly pops or whoever's left that's not in the alliance at the time that he's able to win, and just like show them that they can trust you so that he's not just like a pawn at some point who's easy to get voted out, because he's just made himself that like perpetual pawn that can just go up on the block whenever, and that makes him feel like he's kind of disposable, which I don't love that for him. So I think he needs to win something. We were kind of talking about this last season with Betty. We were like, Betty needs to win something. She's just constantly being put on the block. She needs to get some power. And then like she won that veto. She ended up staying. She yelled at Marty. It was amazing. And then she really had a chance to win at the end. So you can turn it around. I just hope that Hope is thinking that way. I don't know if he is. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know what his plan is, but I don't think Hope necessarily knows what his plan is either. He's just kind of been chilling and vibing this whole time. So, I don't know. If the girls want to try to pick him up, maybe. Like, if they send Satina home, Ty stays. Ty's gonna feel like, "Cause you just nominated me. I ain't rocking with you no more," And I think Ty and Hope at that point would kind of need each other, because they're blatantly both like the bottom at this point. I don't really know where they pivot to anymore. So I don't know. I'm also starting to think that old girls alliance, there's a possibility that like they kind of dangled that in front of Kuzi's face and like, we're still loyal to it. I don't like that alliance is dead, to be honest. Like, if Kuzi does not come to her senses soon. I'm really scared for her, man. But yeah. Okay, so I guess the last thing we can do, who's really in the best position in this game? Who's in the worst position? Katie, who do you think?
Who's in the worst position? Probably, you know, before learning what Kuzi was doing this week, I would have said Shania, but I think Ty is probably in the worst position because he really has nobody. I mean, especially Claudia dumped him. So they're not together anymore. He doesn't even have her. Obviously, Shania and Renee do not want anything to do with him after the way he spoke to Shania about the veto and then put Renee on the block. So he has nobody. So I really think he's in the worst spot. Best spot, probably Daniel and Anika, I think, are in the best spot so far right now in the house.
Daniel, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I want to say best. I don't really know at this point. Like, this is a really cracked house, but I want to say maybe Daniel because he hasn't touched the block at all, and it seems like everyone wants him around still. Worse, I don't know, man. I might have to say I'm not even going to say the girly pops anymore since they didn't go out. I'm gonna still say Satina. I don't think anyone's really looking out for Satina anymore. The girly pops don't really rock with her. Ty doesn't rock with her. I thought that the crown was going to, but obviously Kuzi just kind of just threw her to the wolves now. I think Hope is the only person that she kind of has at this point. So I feel like if anyone sits next to her on the block, that like she's definitely going at this point. And I don't know. How about you, Vic? Who do you feel like is in the best and worst?
I feel like Renee's in a really good spot. I don't know why. I just feel like he's in a good spot. And Daniel, definitely Daniel. And I think Ty's in the worst spot. Like, he's not doing so hot. And I don't want to say Santina because I don't want her to be in a bad spot. I'm like, she's gonna come through, she's gonna make those relationships, she's gonna win that POV, and she's gonna find her side and rock with him.
Listen,
I mean, we've seen her win a lot, so she put her on the block, give her a chance to win. She could very well win the veto. Yeah.
I want to see Kuzi and Satina come to their senses and work.
I know that final two makes me like excited. Okay.
Yeah. And we can only just hope and pray. But anyway, that's it. I think that's. Are we missing anything, Katie? Is there anything extra?
Well, I want to get your opinion on what do you think, Isaiah? How do you think Ty played the week, and how do you think him and Claudia not being in a showmance anymore is going to impact him? And what do you think of that whole conversation? Like, I feel like Ty was just so wild this whole week with the way he was talking to everybody.
So Ty, I felt like he had a pretty successful HOH, but it wasn't on his own purpose. Like, obviously, Jonathan, in our exit interview, he said that he would have targeted Ty. So it's good that Jonathan went out for his game. I don't think he did that on purpose, though. Like, he wanted to put up Renee. He also toyed with the idea of putting up Claudia. I don't think he had the best plans, but it kind of just worked out for him. Just like, I think, no shade, I think Kuzi's HOH was about to be a disaster because it sounds like Zach might have stayed at this point.
I think he might have.
Yeah, so but this is a chaotic house. There's no like real path at this point. But that Ty Claudia conversation, it wasn't good. Ty is like blatantly like transparent, and he's kind of transparent to a fault.
When he called
sometimes.
her insecure to her face, I was like, dude,
yeah,
what are you doing right now?
Yeah, it was cracked. But I mean, hey, it's what do you expect at this point? But also, Claudia, why did it take you so long to finally,
literally, we've been screaming every week. I wish Josie was here just to say we were saying, Claudia, stand up, and she did, but it just took her so much longer than it should have. It was so bad.
Yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble. I'm not gonna make you say it.
I love it. And it's so funny that you say that because last time I was on the podcast, it was the first time where I was being asked questions and I was so like not knowing how to answer because I'm like, God damn it, in a few weeks I'm gonna be face to face with these people.
Yep.
And then,
that was when we were still new to this. You good.
It was written all over my face. So don't worry, I came prepared to answer these questions.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to drag nobody. Listen, I get it.
I love it.
But okay. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else to really talk about. I think that's basically all the highlights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any theories for the twist, Isaiah?
Do I have theories for the twist?
Yeah.
I mean, I really can't speak on that right now, but yeah.
Okay.
But lastly, oh look, we got another comment in the chat. Spicy V, got that tea by having Zach with a pot.
Yes, that was like I would really wanted to do it, but I have to admit I really did that for the fans. I had to go through a few extra like hoops to
I'm
make
sure.
that happen because you're not allowed to interview house guests once they come out of the house. You have to wait until after finale. But I was like, I got it. So Detective Dick,
Listen.
I did what I could. I wish I could have made the questions a little more spicy. But you know what I mean? It was super fun. So thanks for saying that. It was one of my favorite interviews for sure because he has a lot to say and he just means what he says with like he truly believes what he says. So watching it is just it's funny.
All right. But there you have it. That's our podcast for today. The very fun one, obviously short, sweet, but like there wasn't a lot this week. It's just a lot of chaos. So
thank you for having me again.
Of course.
I had a blast.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. I feel all like caught up and ready for Tuesday. Like, let's go.
Awesome. For anyone listening on our audio platforms, real quick, if you like what you hear, please check out the Sound Podcast social media pages. You can also check out our Twitch, obviously, so you can subscribe, like, and comment, and help our algorithm on our YouTube. And if you like what you hear, please rate it 5 stars. But if it's lower than that, don't rate it at all. Just wait till you hear something that you do like. We're gonna start closing out real quick. Yes, Valencia, as she said, become part of the Sound Podcast family. Victoria, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence a second time. Where can people find you and what are you getting into?
Oh my gosh. Yes, Instagram at Spicy V. And then my YouTube show, Spill the Tea with Spicy V, where I get the tea from these reality people, Production can only do so much with trying to get as much as we can see, So I like to get answers right from the source. Keep it spicy.
All right. Are we going to see you on Big Brother again if they hit you up? We're like, look, Victoria, we need you to come for All Stars or something.
I literally have my phone charged at all times.
Absolutely.
Yes, I would love it.
We're going to look forward to that. I mean, I hope we have feeds. I'm like, I need to just watch Victoria all day. Okay.
No, you gave us such good feeds on your season.
It was amazing.
I
thought you guys think so.
It was great.
Katie, what you getting into?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at RealSlimKatie. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/RealSlimKatie with an underscore at the end. And you can catch me here on Sound Podcast talking about a bunch of things, Real Housewives, Big Brother every week, The Mandalorian. And I was just on Love is Blurry talking about Love is Blind with Isaiah and Javier, and that was super fun. So yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Love is Blind is crazy. But
fuck. I'm sorry for my language. I just got caught up. What am I watching?
Yeah,
we've said worse. It's okay.
Much worse.
And if you want to follow me, check me out at 8Ball Bangers on all social media platforms. You can find me podcasting here as usual on Big Brother Canada every Friday. I know this week was a little different, but we got a good guess, so it's okay. But every Friday, you can check me on RHAP, RHAP. I was literally just talking about Big Brother Canada last week, so that was a fun time. And I was on Josh Kettle's Survivor podcast talking about the most recent episode, so make sure you check that one out too. But yeah, that was a good episode. We'll see you next week and have a good one. Bye.
Thank you.